Typhoon Matmo strikes southern China, mass evacuations, severe weather halts activities. Typhoon Matmo once again unleashed the power of nature across East Asia. After crossing the Philippines, bringing torrential rains and widespread power outages, the tropical storm re-intensified over the South China Sea before slamming into southern China in early October 2025. The storm's eye made landfall along the eastern coast of Shuwen County in Zhanjiang City, Guangdong Province, around 3 in the afternoon local time. Maximum wind speeds reached 151 kilometers per hour, while central pressure dropped to 965 hectopascals. The combination of fierce winds, high waves, and relentless rainfall made Matmo one of the most powerful typhoons to strike southern China in recent years. Along the coast, waves over 5 meters high battered the shoreline. Seawater flooded streets, inundated residential areas, and damaged seawalls and piers. In several towns, cars were swept away and trees snapped under the deafening gusts. Chinese authorities immediately issued the highest level emergency alert. More than 347,000 residents were evacuated from high-risk coastal zones in Guangdong and Hainan provinces. Schools were closed, public transportation suspended, and flights canceled. In Hainan alone, over 190,000 people were forced to leave their homes as ferry routes and major ports were shut down to prevent maritime accidents. Matmo's arrival coincided with China's National Day Golden Week holidays, one of the country's busiest travel periods. Thousands of tourists heading to island destinations such as Sanya and Beizhou had to cancel their trips. About 26,000 visitors in Guangxi were evacuated by emergency ferries. Airports in Haikou and Sanya grounded hundreds of flights, while high-speed rail services along coastal routes were temporarily suspended for safety reasons. Torrential rain fell without pause, dumping more than 200 millimeters in some areas within hours. Streets turned into rivers, cutting off access to coastal towns. Tidal flooding and mud flows began in low-lying regions, worsening conditions for affected residents. Power outages struck several cities, and communications were disrupted as cables snapped and cell towers were damaged. Rescue teams and military personnel were deployed to assist in evacuations and relief operations. Working around the clock, they moved the elderly, children, and livestock from submerged homes. Temporary shelters and community kitchens were set up to provide food and aid to thousands of displaced people. After making landfall, Matmo continued moving northwest, gradually weakening but still bringing heavy rain to Guangxi and Yunnan provinces. Meteorological authorities warned of possible flash floods, landslides, and river overflows in mountainous regions. In the Beibu Gulf, high waves continued to threaten fishing boats that had not yet returned to port. The typhoon's effects were also felt beyond China. Weather agencies in Thailand and Vietnam issued warnings that Matmo's residual moisture could intensify the monsoon rains, raising flood risks in parts of Indochina. Climate experts say the growing frequency and intensity of storms like Matmo are clear signs of global climate change. Rising sea levels have increased the threat of storm surges and saltwater intrusion in coastal areas. Many seawalls and drainage systems remain insufficient to withstand the scale of storms now striking the region more frequently than a decade ago. Economic losses are still being calculated, but are expected to reach millions of U.S. dollars. Thousands of hectares of farmland were damaged, fishing boats sank, and homes were destroyed by violent winds and waves. Although major casualties have not been reported, the material devastation left behind will take months, if not longer, to recover from. Now, as clearer skies return to parts of southern China, recovery efforts continue. Volunteers and emergency crews are working hand in hand to remove debris, restore electricity, and deliver supplies. For those who lost their homes, the storm serves not only as a natural disaster, but also as a reminder that preparedness and disaster mitigation can no longer be postponed.